Alright. Hey, alright. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the No Outlet Podcast. This is the second episode. I'm joined here with my buddy Dean.
That's me.
We're going to be continuing this podcast little spiel. I got maybe some people a person I might be interviewing soon, because he's part of a cool local band. Doing pretty successful, and I'm really happy for him. So, anyways, let's get into the nitty gritty here, ladies and gentlemen. It is currently September 21st, 2019. It is 10:32 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're here to talk about some goddamn raids. Now, not 4chan raids. No, we need to leave those back in the early 20s. That's not right. Anyways, we're going to be talking about, of course, the Area 51 raid, quote unquote
raid.
Raid, more as a gathering. I guess it really all started with this Facebook post, made back beginning of summer.
Yeah, I would say so. At the beginning of summer.
It was earlier in the year, regardless. Earlier in the year, and it garnered a shit ton of attention, even though it was definitely not serious, and it just exploded immediately, because that's how the internet works, and it'll just blow up to the dumbest shit possible.
Yes.
And we basically just watched this go down, and the memes that came out of it were pretty good.
Yes.
And over the summer, obviously, as memes do, they perish and they die.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, the raid was scheduled for September 20th of this month, i.e. yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And about around 2 million people said they were going. And over that summer, it garnered more attention. It died, and then it got revitalized because Facebook accidentally deleted it. And obviously, the memes are still going pretty strong. I mean, not mainstream, but they were still going pretty strong.
And also help with from Elvis the Alien, which is a good YouTuber.
Yes. Elvis is an amazing YouTuber.
Yes.
But yeah, a lot of people contributed to just blowing this thing up, and a good example is Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast went to Area 51 for 21 or 24 hours, because he likes doing 24-hour challenges, and that boosted it even more. And it just, I mean, the unexpected, just, hey, we're gonna raid Area 51. Obviously, it wasn't gonna happen.
And of course, the military then got concerned.
In that case, yes, they did get concerned, and they advised strongly that no one actually try and enter Area 51, because it is a government facility. Shocker. But,
very surprising, you know.
Anyways, that's some good stuff. Drinking some good water, non-branded, because it's fridge water. We can't do a product placement.
No.
Anyways, got some nice brewskis here. We're obviously talking about Mexican Coca-Cola,
which is way better than Coca-Cola, because it's got a little bit of ginger in it. I don't know where the bottle cap just went, but oh, there it is. I found it, folks. We're good now.
Anyways, so it garnered a crazy amount of attention from the media, and over the course of the summer, got revitalized. Come the day of September 20th, a live stream is held, and about 150 people show up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Obviously, there was a handful of arrests to actual people who did try and make advances into actually trying to get into it.
And surprisingly, not from America.
Yes. Let's make sure we get this right, because there are a couple of YouTubers that got arrested for actually going into Area 51, and they're Dutch. So a couple Dutch YouTubers were sentenced to jail according to PennLive.com. So basically, they got in,
Yep.
and it wasn't just like, oh, hey, they like stepped foot in there and then like the guards got them.
They tried to break in.
They didn't break in. They just walked in.
Oh, they just okay. They
And
walked in.
the crazy part about it is they got, correct me if I'm wrong, but they got about 3 miles into Area 51 before they were detained and arrested.
Well, that I didn't know, but that's kind of amazing.
Yeah, they got about 3 miles in before armed military forces came in and detained them. Let's see, their sentence obviously wasn't huge. They were sentenced to 1 year in the county jail, but that sentence was suspended according to CNN. They spent a total of 3 days in the county jail, and both of the YouTubers are going to be paying a $2,200 fine on Thursday, which that is, yeah. So Thursday was so this was posted on September 20th. So it looks like they're gonna get out. Either they already got out, or they are getting out this Thursday, which would be the 26th.
Yes.
So if they're getting out on the 26th, then they're going to be paying a not a hefty fine, but definitely a fine nonetheless, which obviously makes sense. You're not supposed to trespass, especially on federal or government property. So the day comes, they then people are basically just showing up, and there's a live stream held. Numerous pictures are taken.
Ooh.
Obviously. And it's just a huge, it's more than just a gather. It's just more of a gathering, honestly. And sound like a broken record. There's a handful of arrests. Those two obviously garnering the most media attention. Yeah. And basically they everyone gathered. And apparently, from what I saw in the pictures, there were obviously some I think police. There's definitely police officers there. I think there were some of the military people there.
Well, that does connect us to the tweet that they made.
Yeah. So we'll get to that. So there's obviously some actual people guarding the front just in case, and which obviously, I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah. I respect that. Anyways, so what does it look like? So, there was a tweet posted on Friday, which was this Friday, this Friday, which was the 20th, yeah. Mm-hmm. So the 20th, and on the 20th, the Defense Visual Information Distribution Service, that was a great mouthful, the Defense Visual Information Distribution Center, service, whatever. Okay. Anyways, the DVIDS, they took aim at the Area 51 people who were actually going to be showing up. No one was expecting 2 million people to show up, obviously. Yeah. But they posted a tweet, and it looks like the photo was of some soldiers, and they were standing in uniform in front of a B-2 stealth bomber. The tweet read, "The last thing #millennials will see if they attempt the #Area 51 raid today."
Real sweet message.
Real sweet message. Obviously, there's probably, I mean, the thing about it is, there's probably not meant to be an actual threat.
It sure seems like one.
But regardless, you are people who are supposed to be protecting our civilians. So when you basically in that context, if no one had that context, they'd be like, "Oh, what the hell? Why are our military trying to threaten our civilians. Now, obviously, it got blown out of proportion. I obviously would have just thought of it as a joke, but it obviously gets blown out of proportion. Then, on Saturday, which is today, the Defense Visual Information Distribution Service, no, said on Twitter, basically apparently one of the employees of the DVIDS, one of the employees on that account posted a tweet that basically was in response of all the heat they were getting from that from the original tweet. The employee, they basically had an employee respond to that tweet, the original tweet, and that was really repetitive. Anyways, they responded to the tweet, and they said that in no way in all caps, supports the stance of the Department of Defense. It was inappropriate, and we apologize for the mistake. Okay. Well, I'm assuming that we're just reading off of the quote of an article. It doesn't look like that's the full tweet, but from what I'm seeing, it was probably like, since it got blown out of proportion, they're like, holy shit, okay. We didn't mean it by we were threatening anyone in any way, and we are sorry it was inappropriate, and we apologize for this mistake.
And it also turns out that Nevada, where Area 51 is located, obviously, found out that no one was really trying to break in. They were kind of just like around the area of 51, just kind of like having a little bit like a festival, or just kind of just hanging out there.
That is true. Yeah. In the article does read, and I quote, in Nevada, any fears about a serious attempt to raid Area 51 appeared to have been unfounded. About 150 people, some in alien garb, gathered near the base on Friday in a festive atmosphere with only a handful of arrests. That is a quote from this article that we're reading from Reuters. And basically, yeah, it's just showing that. So, yeah, obviously, for what it is, the raid was definitely all in good fun, obviously, and there was no real like we're gonna go in and steal something. No, I mean they were just, hey, let's have some fun with this.
Yeah.
Which in my opinion is how it should have just been handled. I was expecting to see possibly some actual deaths.
I was too. Like, I expected like everyone that went there just to be dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to have a meme and to one follow it, but at the same time, there was definitely somewhat of a risk doing that. Just because, I mean, you definitely you're running the risk of getting arrested more than anything. I really highly doubt that the military would fire onto civilians if they were to trespass. Even though I'm pretty sure the sign does say deadly force will be authorized or used, but I still don't think, because, I mean, if someone were to get shot and killed in that, I'm pretty sure it'd blow up really bad. Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, it's just better to be not trigger happy and just arrest them for doing it.
And we do have to remember that the government kind of doesn't like memes, maybe, because with the Pepe situation or whatever, which is like
the 4chan.
Yeah, the 4chan thing. That, and also that they
about how Pepe is apparently as bad as a swastika.
Yep. Exactly.
feels Fourth Reich, man.
Yep.
Anyways, that was fucking horrible. Anyway, but yeah, I think it was pretty cool to see that go down. I watched some of the live stream. It was just people having a good time. There was no like.
I know one of the actor that plays Shaggy in the live action Scooby-Doo movies. He went there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Some like actual like famous people showed up, which is pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, all around, I mean, I'm just happy that no one died.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, I think it would just get extremely blown out of proportion, and definitely would garner a shit ton of media attention if someone were to actually get like gunned down there.
Yeah.
There would have been a mass amount of shit thrown on the government for killing someone in cold blood, basically.
Yep.
It really wouldn't be in cold blood because they are technically trespassing, but at the same time,
it would blow up.
It would blow up regardless because usually they just arrest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, rolling on to a new topic.
Let's see. Now, here's something that I've been kind of talking to Craig about.
Or Taylor.
Taylor. He goes by two names. I call him Craig.
I'm a mystery man. I get
mystery man.
I'm a man of many names. Anyways.
Anyway, I've been kind of talking to him about Nintendo Direct. Now, Craig hasn't seen Nintendo Direct that much. What did you see? I know you saw like one part of it.
I'm not a very big fan of... I'm not a follower of Nintendo. I'm definitely a fan of their games and what they do. I know... Okay, so a little bit I know is... one, the huge Smash update, which they introduced...
Banjo. And Sans. And Sans
well, I mean,
Mii costume.
It was just like... They introduced a bunch of Mii costumes into Smash. So Banjo got released?
Yeah, he got released that day of the Direct, I think.
Okay, so he got released. So he's a playable fighter in Smash
fighter right now. Yep.
And then were there any other reveals?
Like Smash Bros. Related or just
Smash? Like were there any new fighters revealed or anything?
But there was also Terry. I don't remember his last name, but he's
Terry from the Neo Geo games.
Yeah, Neo Geo games. What is it?
We were waiting for Johnny Maximum.
Yeah, Johnny Maximum, which is a character that is very lost in history from the game World Heroes, where every character, World Heroes is based off of like every character represents like a certain part of the world. So Johnny Maximum would represent us, America, because he's a football player and he kills people. And he eats burger.
Burger. But yeah, so it looks like... Let's see here.
Yeah.
According to The Verge, the
same people that messed up the computer.
I tend not to talk about that because I'm a huge PC nerd. Mm-hmm. I was dying when I watched that. Anyways, so we're not going to go on The Verge. We're going to go on the inverse. So they have... Yeah, so Terry Bogard officially joins the roster for Super Smash Ultimate. Yeah, so it looks like he's going to be the game's next DLC character. It doesn't look like anything else was announced.
Yeah.
Of Smash related, obviously. Yeah. The bullshit, I guess, that really is just a shit ton of anime games that I personally have no interest in. I've never been a big fan of anime games.
Neither was I. Like, Fire Emblem I don't really get. Like, I do like some RPG games, like Dragon Quest. It's like, then again, the only Dragon Quest game I played like is like Slime Rocket. But, I mean, whatever. I do like RPG games, like other ones like Mario and Luigi. And,
Turn-based RPG games are not my shtick.
I can deal with a couple of them, but I just never really got into Fire Emblem, and then then they flooded into Smash or whatever, and that's when everyone was like, "Whoa, here's the 5th sword fighter, the 20th sword fighter," and it was like, "Wow, oh man."
But yeah, so there wasn't anything new about Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, no. See, what they did at the end, though, was it looked like it, and then it was just like Xenoblade. Which, again, a game I can kind of see people liking. Like, I obviously have seen people like it.
Not my cup of tea.
Yeah, also not my cup of tea. I don't know. Never really liked it.
But yeah, so no new like gameplay or anything. Not even like a teaser for Breath of the Wild 2. which I think is going to be one of the most anticipated titles.
Definitely, because so far we got, like, besides Breath of the Wild 2, we got the Animal Crossing games coming out, New Horizon.
Yeah, did they show some stuff on that?
Yes, they did. They showed a lot. It's kind of like Astral Survival, so instead of, like, just, like, shaking a tree and getting an apple, it's like, oh, now you can chop down a tree, and it has, like, a bunch of logs. And there's, like, 3 different log colors. I don't know. You know, I don't know. But yeah, and it's like on an island now. It looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of, and I usually don't keep up to date with Nintendo stuff, mainly because I don't have any Nintendo products anymore. I used to have a Switch, and then I sold it for a guitar. But yeah, I mean, did they show anything about Link's Awakening or?
They did. So what they did is they're doing,
it was like a launch trailer maybe or something like that. Probably.
Kinda. Yeah, I remember the only thing they really talked about was like this dungeon creator thing. So like when you see a dungeon or whatever, you beat a dungeon in the actual game, then they like add that to like a dungeon creator, so you can put together all the dungeons that you've seen and make like your own little dungeon thing. And you can put on like an amiibo, and then you can share it with people.
Was it September 4th?
I think it's right there. Wait.
Well, I'm just trying to see here. So
we're looking at it right now, folks.
I'm just looking at like the summary or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Overwatch is coming to the Switch.
Yeah. That was kind of already seen now. They added the Super Nintendo emulators now for Nintendo Online, so I've been playing that recently. Yoshi's Island. Ooh, good game. Ooh. Kirby Stream Fighter 3, even though I already have it in person, played on the Switch. Ooh. Yeah. And it just sands.
I'm trying to find it. I think it's 9-4.
Oh, they talked about the Pokemon game. The
Unseen Hotel Floors of Luigi Mansion Part 3 or Luigi Mansion 3.
That too. They got Gooigi or Gooigi. Best character.
Doom 64.
Oh, Doom 64, exactly.
I'm actually I'm a huge Doom fanboy, so that's great.
Yeah.
Bunch of RPG bullshit. It looks like
Star Wars game.
Star Wars Jedi Knight 2.
Whatever the fuck
that was pretty great.
Yeah.
Is this a new Mario Sonic Olympic Games or some shit?
Yeah.
Oh, great. What else we got?
They got they're bringing back a couple of old games, and they're like,
we're not focused on the anime shit.
Yeah.
Just some more Link's Awakening stuff. More
turn-based
RPGs.
They have the new Kirby Clash game, Super Kirby Clash, or is it Super? Yeah, it's Super Kirby Clash, I think.
Right here?
Yeah.
New free-to-start Kirby game for Nintendo Switch.
I've been playing that recently. It's pretty fun. I like it.
Obviously, a lot more stuff on Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah, they added a T Pokemon. We got a bird that spits out a fish. And then recently, they just announced this like 2 days ago. You know the little Pokemon with the leek in his hand? You know the little one, the Farfetch?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
he's a bird, okay, and he's got a leek in his hand. Well, get ready for this. Because we're in England now in this new one, we got Farfetch looking like he jumped right out of JoJo Bizarre's Adventure with a sword instead of a leek. Holy shit.
You said Jar Jar's?
No, JoJo.
Jar Jar's Bizarre Adventure. Is that a Jar Jar reference?
Payne
but
probably liked that. Payne probably enjoyed that. He was like, yes!
But, yeah. So we have the whole Area 51 stuff. We have the Nintendo Direct, which is actually pretty cool. I'm gonna do a little spiel on Borderlands 3.
Mm-hmm. Which is a game I haven't played yet, that I would like to hear.
You know what? I think I'm gonna save this for the next podcast. Next podcast will be coming out tomorrow, hopefully. I'll be joined by a couple new friends, or not new friends, but old buddies of mine. But yeah, I'll discuss Borderlands 3 then. Do you have any games you've been playing recently that like or like a game that you've played all the way through, you just beat or something like that, or even a game that you're doing right, or like you're kind of far into that you kind of have a
Well, I've been because
like an overall rating or something.
you know what? I'm gonna have to. I like horror games and I like reading horror and stuff, and I'm all into like creepy pictures and stories and Stephen King and stuff. So I've been playing this game called Lost in Vita, made by the person who made Spooky Jumpscare Mansion, which I also like that game. And it's kind of Silent Hill-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And how much does it cost? It costs like $15, I think,
On Steam?
on Steam.
What is it called?
Lost in Vita.
Lost.
I might be wrong. I got it on Game Jolt though because I was locked out of my Steam account for a while. But yeah, no, it's kind of like Silent Hill-ish. I know I already said that, but
Vivo.
Yeah, Vita or Viva. So did I say Vito? Viva.
Yeah. Lost in Vivo is currently $11.99 on Steam.
Yep.
Very positive reviews.
Yeah.
Soundtrack is $9.
And basically, the story is that so you're walking your dog, and it's like the therapy dog, or whatever. It's like a little corgi, and you're walking in the rain, whatever, and it's starting to get all stormy and stuff. And then your dog falls into a storm drain, and you go after it to try to save it. And oh man, the horrors underneath, they await. And
so very Silent Hill.
Yeah, very Silent Hill.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Great atmosphere. I love it.
Horror games have to have good atmosphere.
Yeah.
If they don't have good atmosphere, it kind of really punches. It really hurts the overall game more than anything.
And believe me, I played some bad horror games. Oh boy.
I think we've all played bad horror games at some point.
Now this man over here, I've tried to get him to play some horror games that I've been playing, to no avail.
Well, the thing about it is, for me, modern horror has begun to be just so saturated.
Yeah.
To the point where it's just not scary. More than anything, it's going to be a bunch of cheap scares. And that's mainly the case with horror movies more than actual horror games, because horror games are a little bit more horror movie. The difference between a horror movie and a horror game is a horror movie you're just watching. This is an experience that you have. You have no control over what the characters do.
Yeah.
And in a horror game, the entire story relies on your input.
Yeah.
You don't do if you don't put in input, nothing's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you have that kind of ultimatum.
Yeah.
Ultimatum. That's not really the best word.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the whole, just hey, if you it's an experience versus an interactive experience.
Yeah.
Two different experiences, and obviously two that are going to be usually different. But from what I've experienced in just horror movies and horror games, is very saturated or very stereotypical kind of horror, which is cheap jump scares and very anticipated scares.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I will not categorize every single conceivable horror game and or horror movie into that category. There are some really good games out there and really good movies out there that do very well at actually putting that horror-esque on you. You could basically call Get Out, the movie, amazing. You're laughing.
Well, no, I was laughing because when I think of Get Out, I think of just the stupid, what is it, like the 2018, what is it, the Emmys? And they just have some guy run out, and it's like, oh, it's a Get Out joke, whoa, it's so funny. It just is so stupid. Ugh. But yeah. But no, I would say, if you do have the time, Craig, maybe play that game. Even though it's $15 or whatever, or no, sorry, $11. It's $11. It doesn't do cheap jump scares. It has atmosphere, tension. You know. It builds up its scares too.
Yeah, I mean that's for sure like a good way to recommend one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I mean,
If you want to, I'm not, you know.
Oh yeah, obviously, but definitely Silent Hill-esque. I played Silent Hill 2. Yeah, I remember played Silent Hill 2. That was an experience and a half.
Yeah, I'm thinking again. What is it? The Bubblehead. There's this Bubblehead nurse, statue, and I was thinking again. I didn't just put it in my room because I like Silent Hill a lot. So I like it. You know, as you do.
As you do.
As you do.
But yeah, I'd say, I guess a game. I just bought a game right now.
Yeah,
as we were speaking.
Yes.
Dusk is like a classic. It's a modern title with the classic Quake and/or Wolfenstein, Doom, those esque games aesthetic to it. Which is actually really cool. But yeah. Anyways, as I sort my whole life around.
Desktop, yeah.
Because I love doing that.
Have you been playing? Well, actually, I think you talked about what kind of games you've been playing, right?
I've been playing Borderlands 3, but I want to save that for another podcast. Yeah. Another game I have been playing for a good amount is a game called Get to the Orange Door, which is actually an amazing game, and I highly recommend it to anyone who is looking for a really good game to just have fun in. It's not very objective based, more as it is just an arena esque kind of shooter. Not a crazy like Quake or Doom kind of arena shooter, but Wolfenstein works too. But it's basically if 80s new wave had a child with LSD. It's very new wave. Obviously, it has that new wave aesthetic with like all the grids and everything and neon colors. Which is why I hate when people say, "Oh, it's that '80s aesthetic." Well, if you want to be more specific, it'd be '80s new wave aesthetic.
Yeah,
it has that '80s new wave aesthetic of the whole, like, hey, this shit's cool. But yeah, so I mean, what you're looking at is a pretty cool game. That is, basically, I don't really know what to call your character, but he honestly, he's nameless. There's no name for him. But what you do is as the name implies, you have to get to the orange door, which is like the end of the level or so. But you have a quick play option, which is literally they just drop you into an arena and you kill a shit ton of guys. Granted, the game is in early access. I think it was $15 on Steam. Let me double check that just to make sure. But and then there's obviously, I think there's a kind of like a campaign mode, and that includes a very cool what is it? It kind of includes a very cool just, hey, we're gonna put you in these levels, and there's wall running, there's sliding. It's a very fast paced, high octane kind of gameplay, which hits me very hard. Because I really like fast-paced shooters, especially if I have the freedom of like sliding and having as much freedom as possible, and just being able to fly at 50 miles an hour through the air and then slide and then just clothesline someone with a shotgun. It is the funnest shit ever. Exactly why I love Quake, Wolfenstein, mainly Doom, Quake, Doom and Quake for sure. Those are very, very easy yeses on those kind of games.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, regardless, it's a very fun game. I highly recommend getting it to anyone who actually wants, like, a fun game. Funny thing about the whole arena mode, if you really get into it, once you die, I had to pause the game after I went through a really intense kind of round.
So work up a sweat.
No, not that. It was it was mentally draining for me.
Mm.
I legitimately had to pause the game and actually step back from my screen because everything's moving super fast and your brain has to process that so fast. But yeah, so it was very mentally draining. So I mean, if you're looking for that kind of a rush or adrenaline rush, it is a great game and I highly recommend it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh yeah, the Get to the Orange Door is $14.99 on Steam, which is about maybe $16 with tax.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I mean, if you do have if you guys do have some money, it is an indie game, so it would definitely help the developer get it out of early access. The price, he did mention in a Q&A with the game that the price will go up as the game gets more content added to it, and the game is currently $14.99, and it will go up as it goes and as it gets more updates. And he said that when the final version is released, that it will have a lot more. It'll be more money. So I'd recommend getting it now, as to save yourself some money.
Mm-hmm.
And or if you just want to wait, you can always just wait for a sale.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, that's basically what I've been playing recently. It's a really fun game, mentally draining, but it's regardless very fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've also been playing some of the previous Borderlands. I recently started up a new save and started playing with one of my best friends, who I actually haven't played with in a couple years. He just got a new PC, so I got to play with one of my best friends from elementary school. That was really fun.
That's good.
Looking to get back into Metal Gear Solid 5. I just haven't had the time.
Yeah.
But another little thing, if any of you people have a PC, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, if you have the Rockstar launcher, because they're making you install a new launcher for your computer, as if we do not have already enough launchers in our life. Yeah. We now have another launcher on top of the many. Granted, you can get a free game that it costs $10 right now, which is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. If you have the Rockstar Games launcher, to anyone who's actually listening out there, you can get San Andreas for free right now. Don't know when it'll last, but try and get to it as fast as you can. So yeah. Anyways, how long have we been going for? We're going for about 40 minutes.
Now, hold on. One last question here. So, as we've been talking, you've been buying some games in the background.
I've bought a couple games,
and I've noticed something very peculiar. So, another genre I like to play is roguelikes. So, like Binding of Isaac, Enter the Gungeon. So I see you bought that as we were talking.
I'm a big fan of Devolver.
Yeah, I will agree. Devolver is a good game studio.
They made the amazing Hotline Miami series.
Yes. Very good.
I'm pretty sure. Let me see here. Because the thing about it is Devolver is more than just an actual game developer. Or an in-house developer. They're more of a publisher. From what I've seen, they publish a shit ton of indie games. What is it? Like My Friend Pedro, which I actually got to play at PAX West 2018, which was last year. Super fun game, i.e. the demo. I never actually get to play the full game, but people are highly recommending that you wait until a sale. Apparently the game does not have any replay value at the moment.
That sucks.
And yeah, because the game was extremely fun to play as just even a demo, which is really good. Is really cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, so the Enter the Gungeon, I think, is, let me check here, store page. This usually just helps me. I probably should have this a little bit more on demand here, but it's a podcast. We keep it raw, yo.
Raw. Finally, some good fucking food.
But after this takes forever. Devolver has been more. I don't like to compare companies, especially comparing Devolver to Bethesda. Yeah. So Devolver is the publisher of Enter the Gungeon. The developer is Dodge Roll. So yeah, Devolver is a very, in my opinion, a pretty reputable company.
Mm-hmm.
They make their own little funny E3 bits. They're not live press conferences. They just make pre-recorded ones that are shown, and they usually just spiral out of control and dwindle into pure insanity.
Yes,
Which is actually pretty cool. And I love those for that entire reason. But yeah, Devolver has been more or less. I've compared it to Bethesda as more than anything. They're more of a publisher than an in-house developer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, My Friend Pedro is $20 on Steam. Do they really? Let me check here.
Wait, what?
Apparently, Devolver was helped with making Gorn.
That's my favorite VR game.
Yep, Dean's played Gorn.
I love Gorn. It's the best.
I actually haven't played VR in a while.
If you want to rip a gigantic crab's
you beat the ever living shit out of a midget that's on top.
Yeah, it's the best. If you ever wanted to throw badgers into spikes or just destroy people with your bare hands and swords.
You have bare hands? Anyways,
boom! Funny joke. Ha ha.
Okay.
Funny laugh.
Okay, bud. Anyways. Oh wait. Number joke, 69 installed. Anyways. But yeah, so yeah, Devolver has been more of a publisher to me than an actual developer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say, because I want to make sure I have like factual statements.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I do slip up, obviously. I want to say Devolver are the developers of Hotline Miami and Broforce, but I honestly could be wrong. I just know Devolver of being this very reputable company in the sense of having some really good indie games and being able to give indie developers a okay, no, they're just the publishers of Gorn. Anyways, anyways, so yeah, I mean, I've seen them as more of a reputable thing. They help smaller creators or developers get their name out, which is actually super cool.
Yeah.
They really need more of that, and there's some really underrated indie games, i.e., Dusk and or Get to the Orange Door. But yeah, I mean, it's super cool that some companies are just publishing some of the some indie games to get some smaller developers' names out there. Super cool, and I completely respect it. For that reason.
Yeah. But my question was what was my question? Oh, my question was, what do you think of like Enter the Gungeon as a game? Wait, have you played it before?
No.
Oh, okay.
I played it once, and it was like 3 years ago at a birthday party. So I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I got thrown right into like mid game with my friend, and I had no idea what I was doing.
I will say, because I have it on the Switch, and I have it on like my laptop and stuff.
I was playing it on the Switch.
Yeah. It's a pretty difficult game to learn. As all are. As all
Devolver games.
Yeah.
No, the Hotline Miami wasn't even developed by Devolver. Devolver is more of a publisher then. Yeah. I've always looked at Devolver as like the Hotline Miami people, which they are, but in the sense that they are the publishers for that. The actual it's Denaton Games are the developers of Hotline Miami. amazing series, by the way. If you are ever looking for a really good game series to play, you should play Hotline Miami 1 and 2. An amazing game.
Yeah.
And it's a complete Devolver, out of Hotline Miami, Devolver was then crowned kind of that company who has a lot of hard games.
Yeah.
It's a lot of trial and error. They're the trial and error kind of masters with any sort of game they publish. Broforce, not as hard, but still pretty hard. And it wasn't super hard. Like I was like wanting to pull my hair out.
Mm-hmm.
Hotline Miami is a difficult game that requires a lot of trial and error of finding out and learning everything, which is super cool.
Yeah.
It brings uniqueness to your game experience. I mean, everyone likes a challenge as long as it's not overtly challenging.
Right.
Dark Souls is another great example. I use that. I mean, as much shit as Dark Souls is, or not is. It's an amazing game series. From what I've heard, I've personally never played them.
You mean how much people compare another game to Dark Souls?
Well, yeah. I mean, when you see a developer spout out that we made the Dark Souls of genre name or whatever, or like of that particular genre, it just makes me roll my eyes, and I'm just like, okay, seriously, stop.
Yeah.
I hate when people use that because it's an amazing game series from what I've heard and from what I've seen. The game looks great. But it's a shit ton of just trial and error and understanding how something works. It really gets your brain thinking, which are super good games. They make you more strategic in that sense of understanding what you could do or what you can learn from failure. And super great games, and they deserve any and all praise that they get. No matter how big or how little it is, it's a complete reputable and amazing series from what I've heard and seen. So
Enter the Gungeon is difficult to learn at first, but then as you learn, it gets a little bit easier. I will say though, get ready for gun puns, obviously, because Enter the Gungeon. Yeah. Which I love puns. I love jokes. I love puns.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I say it in that way, but I'm like, yeah. I enjoy puns. I mean, as long as they're not like, there's gonna be some groaners, but I mean, that's always to be expected with any sort of puns or jokes.
I can think of a few now that are just in the game.
Don't tell me.
I know I'm not.
But yeah. So I mean, games are a subjective and objective form of media that people have a vast amount of opinions about and just an overall love for them, which is an amazing thing because they are stuff that people have a passion for, and what is made is something that you see that person's passion for that certain thing.
Yeah.
So you get to see it in action. Some are good and some are not. Obviously,
and some have a rocky start, and they build it all up.
Example: No Man's Sky.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. And then they ruin it with an update, and then it gets better because then you learn from the update. Mm-hmm. Because they changed everything.
And then you have games that had a rocky start and are still having a rocky start and are still horrible.
Like, what is it?
Fallout 76.
Fallout 76, but I was thinking of No Man's Sky's competitor, Star Citizen, which I don't even know no one knows when that's coming out. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't even know what that game is.
We'll learn it later. It's really odd. Really odd.
But, whatever. It's a game, nonetheless. There's probably people who really and genuinely enjoy Fallout 76. I mean, I enjoyed it for the maybe first month I played it.
Then they had a nuclear winter.
It wasn't even that. It was just, I mean, the game got so repetitive. Like, it was super fun to play it in the beginning, but
yeah.
I'd play Fallout 4 over 76 any day, and I'd play New Vegas over both of those games, and I'd play Fallout 3 over all of those games. Fallout 3 is easily my favorite Fallout game.
Yeah.
New Vegas is a not close first, but a very, very, very close first.
Yeah.
It is an amazing Fallout game. Which, funny enough, I've only beaten once. New Vegas takes a while to beat, depending on what you actually do. Same with basically any of those kind of games, open world RPG games. Fallout games, Skyrim, or the Elder Scrolls games are gonna take some while to actually.
Hell, even Cube World.
Even Cube
World.
Borderlands takes a while. But yeah. With that.
Is that where we're gonna wrap it up, or do you want to talk about something else?
I mean, if you got something else, we can keep going. We've been going for about 51 minutes.
I mean, let's see.
Sorry if that messed up the audio.
No, I'm sure we're fine. But, I don't know.
Anything else on your mind?
I will say, what was I gonna say? God damn, I'm having, like, amnesia now. We had such good talks about this. Oh. Fuck, okay. Sorry. Speaking of,
I have one thing.
What are you gonna say?
Mexican Coca-Cola versus American Coca-Cola.
Alright, that's a good topic. So, me and Craig were at Target today.
Yep.
And we saw some Mexican Coca-Cola right next to normal Coca-Cola.
I've heard from many, not many, but a few people who've tried it, say that Mexican Coca-Cola tastes way better than American Coca-Cola. Or Coca-Cola made in the States. And, so we tried it. And
it's pretty good.
I don't want to have Coca-Cola ever again.
Nope. Only Mexican Coca-Cola.
Well, after trying both of them and finishing my Mexican Coca-Cola, I'm a person who, I've cut down on a shit ton of soda. I only drink, if I ever drink soda, it's always root beer.
Mm-hmm.
Root beer, I barely drink cream soda anymore, but root beer is the main one. It's particular Barks.
Yeah, Barks is really good.
Barks root beer is the best root beer that I've ever had, and it will most definitely be that for the rest of my life.
Yes.
For as long as I drink it. But yeah, so we tried it. There's definitely a significant taste. I'd say if you want to do a taste test for yourself, I'd drink the Mexican Coke first, and then I'd try the American, or the States Coke. I don't know where it's made. It could be made in China. Probably not. I think it's bottled here in the States. But I'd try Mexican Coca-Cola first before I'd try the other one, because you try the Mexican Coca-Cola, you get that sweetness in there, because that's the whole reason why Mexican Coca-Cola is a thing. It's sweeter. It has a little bit more sugar in it, but it's sweet. It makes it sweeter. Try the sweeter Coca-Cola and then try regular Coca-Cola, and you'll immediately taste the bitterness of the States Coke versus the Mexican Coke.
Yeah. I remember what I wanted to talk about. So I recently saw the second part of It.
It, Chapter 2.
Yes, It Chapter 2. Now, what I wanted to say, it's really good. I think it was the best movie this year, to be honest with you. But, I mean, maybe that's debatable. I don't know. I didn't really see that many movies this year anyway. But this one, I really liked it because I've also read the whole entire book, which is a very long book. Very big book.
Stephen King makes amazing novels, but they're, my god, they're long.
And they have some weird shit in them.
That man has a tortured mind.
He's also scared of number 13. Did you know that?
The number 13?
Yep, just number 13.
Yeah.
Anything that has anything to do with 13. Yeah.
Man, I bet he hates Friday the 13th. Anyways. Go on.
So, when I saw it, I was expecting, okay, it's gonna be another movie. I don't think it's made by Blumhouse. Because Blumhouse doesn't, I don't think they
Blumhouse is more indie, very low budget kind of horror movies, from what I've seen. They're not very great in production. Yeah. So, no, I don't think...
Yeah. Because this definitely didn't feel like a Blumhouse movie. Or production. It felt like Stephen King himself even shows up in the movie at some point. I remember that. He shows up as a bike owner, I think, or like he's like a shop owner. But it was really true to the book. So they had the if you read the book, they have like in the beginning, it's like, oh, there's this gay couple or whatever, and they get killed, or I think one of them gets killed, and that does happen in the movie at the beginning. Except I think they move it up to like the future, so it's like they get killed like when everyone's an adult. So there's that. So I think they changed that from the book. But besides that, and also the orgy scene, which doesn't exist, thank God, because I don't think anyone wanted to see that.
I don't think anyone wants to see a bunch of kids fucking each other.
No one wants to see that. But besides that part, everything else was fantastic from the book. There's a weird scene of fortune cookies. I liked that scene. What's the guy that plays the Pennywise in it?
Bill Skarsgård.
That.
That's pretty cool.
He does even better. They made a bunch of references to the original TV series. The guy got funnier. He actually started, instead of being like completely serious, now he's like serious and funny. So they did that. So he tells kind of like jokes and stuff, and he's kind of like who's the guy that played the original hit? Who's that guy? I forgot whoever he was, but he kind of does that. He does like a flip flop. There's a lot of kids that get killed, obviously. A lot of blood. A lot of clowns. And lots of, dogs. Yep, I'm gonna say a lot of dogs, and that's it.
Yeah, so it wasn't produced, the production companies were not Blumhouse, which is pretty good.
Which is good.
It was produced, the production companies of It Chapter 2 were New Line Cinema, Double Dream, Vertigo Entertainment, and Rideback, and it was distributed by Warner Bros.
Yay.
So yeah.
That's good. So Blumhouse, if you don't know, I think Craig already explained it, but they make a lot of shitty movies.
They're not, obviously that's a debatable thing.
Yeah.
That's obviously subjective to who likes Blumhouse movies.
Yeah.
Let me search up Blumhouse, because, they have a pretty extensive track record for how many, things they have. Okay, well, here's some new ones. In the Insidious series, the Purge series, Death Day series, Sinister series. The first Sinister movie is good.
Yes.
If you guys ever looking for like a true horror movie, I loved Sinister 1. 2 is very, it's not horrible.
It's just not as good as the first.
But it's not as good as the first.
Yeah.
It's more disturbing than the first one. From what I saw.
Yeah.
Truth or Dare was a horrible movie.
Yeah, I did not like that. It was
Unfriended,
terrible.
The Unfriended, the first movie was alright.
It was very mean. I liked it just because of that. It was stupid.
The thing about it was a unique way to make a horror movie.
Yeah.
I will give it that. The cheap jump scare at the end sucked.
Yeah. Then they made the second one, the Dark Web one, and
that one was just horrible.
That was just shit.
Yeah. Happy Death Day, the first one was pretty good. The Purge. That game, that whole series is a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Anyways,
because the first one was pretty good. Then I think we had Election Year. I don't like that one. Or I think, is it Election Year or Election Day? I don't really remember.
Election Year.
Election Year. So I was right.
They were part of, really? Blumhouse was part of the Halloween 2018.
Really?
They were one of the production companies on that. Well, in that case, Halloween was an amazing movie. Yes. So damn.
They actually still have some good effort there. Yay.
Paranormal Activity. Okay, well, there goes that everything. They did Whiplash? What?
Wait, did they?
What's that jazz movie?
Huh.
Right?
I think so. I never really watched
it. Yep.
I
That's funny.
watch
Glass.
Glass was pretty good.
That was an movie. In the whole Unbreakable trilogy, Split and Unbreakable were the best in the franchise.
And all produced by M. Night Shyamalan. Or at least Split is, I think.
Yeah, they're all made by
M. Night Shyamalan, the person who made The Visit. What a great movie. Love it. So great.
You can already tell by the amount of sarcasm that he hated that movie.
Yeah. Ending so great.
They did produce Get Out, so you can't hold them for it to be making horrible movies.
It's weird. They do kind of a
Blumhouse is a very mixed. Thing. Okay, well, let's just here. How about let's sum it up. Blumhouse is a mixed bag of a company in terms of being a production company. That helps with a bunch of film, obviously, and television. It's all just they were part of the production team of Black Klansman, which I heard was an amazing film, and I'm pretty sure won an Oscar. Anyways, they're a mixed bag. I love Split. That was a great movie.
Yep.
I love Sinister. Loved the new Halloween reboot.
Yep.
That was really good. Get Out was an amazing film.
Yeah.
Black Klansman, I heard was really good. I watched Whiplash because I was super into music. Pretty good. When Adam Neely broke it down, I was like, okay, I don't really like this as much because you kind of get that, oh shit, this was made by this isn't as like true of a jazz movie. Bless you. Isn't as true of a jazz movie as it should be. But I won't let that kind of horror like just completely ruin any sort of praise that it gets. It definitely deserves a lot of praise. It's a great film. So, anyways,
DreamWorks.
Yeah. So, well, there's a thing called Spooky Jack.
Spooky Jack. I don't know. That reminds me of those B movies like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or Jack Frost. Now those I love. I have a big collection of those.
The Blob.
The Blob. The Blob is one of those actually.
Yep.
The Deadly Mantis. That's one I have. Attack of the Killer Donuts.
Spooky Jack. From DreamWorks Animation and the delightfully twisted king of scares, Jason Blum. Comes Spooky Jack, a comic look under the bed and in the closet of kids' imagination. When three siblings move into an eerie new home and discover that all the creatures we've been told don't exist do. They must handle some unusual squatters, from mischievous leprechauns and the elusive Bigfoot to a shy boogeyman that won't stop going bump in the night. I mean, it's made by DreamWorks, so it's definitely not going to be horrible. I don't think.
DreamWorks makes good things, unless we're talking about Shark Tale.
We don't talk about that, okay? Let me just see here. It comes out on my birthday of 2021, which is actually pretty cool.
It looks neat.
Neato. Yeah, it's made by... Yeah, there's no way that this is not a kid's movie.
It looks like one, but it's definitely not.
Well, okay, here's my thing. You can't just say that this is going to be a actual legit horror movie.
Yeah.
If they have, from the creators of How to Train a Dragon, Trolls Boss Baby.
Boss.
I don't know what that says. The Croods Madagascar. Like, you can't not do that. So I'm thinking it's going to be on the level of maybe Hotel Transylvania.
But wouldn't it be amazing if they did make a horror movie?
Oh, like a terrifying horror movie for little kids? That'd be an amazing thing.
Yes. Or just, maybe not even for kids. It's just a horror movie.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
That'd be kind of cool for a DreamWorks and Blumhouse to make a... It has Universal backing it, so... yeah, it's gonna be... The distribution company is gonna be Universal. Regardless, I mean... That'll be nice, I guess. Yeah. I mean... It's not going to be coming out until September 17th of 2021, which I will be 19.
And I will be 18.
19. Yeah, I'll be 19.
Yeah.
I'll be turning 19 then. But yeah. I mean, it looks alright.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obvious. I'm not gonna just judge it off of just the cover, and the cover looks pretty cool. It's like a jack-o'-lantern pissed off with a umbrella on the back, he's like holding it on his back, and then he has like a tux on.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen,
Looks pretty nice.
looks promising. There's definitely some stuff. There's definitely potential there. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, how long have we been going for? Been going for an hour and 5. This is twice as long as my first episode. So.
Heck yeah.
So, alright, well, you think that's a good place to end it?
Well, if you have anything else to talk about.
I personally don't have any other, big topics to talk about, so, I mean, if you have anything to say, shoot it.
Well, one more thing.
Okay.
So there's been, this guy. He's an artist, and I recently discovered him, 2 days ago. He's on Twitter, hold on. I might need to get my phone out, because I follow him on Twitter. Let's see here. He makes, found footage art, right? And it's really good looking, almost realistic.
Just found footage artist or something like that?
Yeah. Maybe you've heard of one of his creations, Siren Head. No?
I might have heard the name at some point.
So,
Beijing. Oh, wait, was Siren Head?
Yeah, Siren Head. He's made a bunch of weird fins, but there's 4 noticeable fins. He made a thing called Siren Head. He made a thing called Lawn Horse, Cartoon Cat, and his newest one, Bridgeworm. And they all are really freaky looking.
Bridgeworm?
Bridgeworm, yeah, it's probably gonna show up. Yeah, maybe. So, hold on, scroll up. So he did a little picture because along with his realistic photos, he also does little cartoon photos displaying all facts about them. So this bridgeworm fin that I thought really interesting. It's this white little worm fin.
Trevor Henderson?
Yeah, that's his name. He's pretty cool.
Slimy Swamp Ghost is his Twitter URL. Trevor.
But I would like to just get it out there, even though I think a lot of people know him by now. But
he has 88.1k followers.
Yeah, it's a lot. But he makes some good art, and
this dude.
Yeah,
the dude who just does that stuff. That's
fun. And he made Cartoon Cat, which is a Felix the Cat as a demon, basically. He made that. He made Siren Head, which I think there's a game based off of Siren Head now. You can just look that up later on your own if you're even listening to the podcast. Oh, look, there's a picture of Siren Head. Whoa, look at that. So cool.
It's a very Tim Burton.
Yeah. I would say, yeah, it is. And then Lawn Horse is this, deaf horse fin. And then the Bridgeworm is this fin that's it has 2 faces, basically. A fake face, and then it peels off its face. Kind of like a spider, actually. And it peels its face off to reveal, this hideous red face that's a human face, and then it eats people under a bridge. So it...
No, okay, I see what he's talking about. Yeah, it looks really realistic.
Yeah. Found footage.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah. And I know there was a picture of Bridgeworm, his actual face, that... I don't know if you noticed it before you clicked on the guy's Twitter, but it was there. But I would just say anyone listen to this, follow that guy. He makes some good art, and he's, I think, trying to make stories out of those 4 characters and possibly more. So yeah. A lot of them look that's not. Whoa, I don't even know what that was.
But yeah, I've for sure seen this stuff before. Yeah, it looks really good.
A lot of it looks like cursed images, basically.
Oh yeah, you could definitely do.
So I would just like to put that out there because he's a good guy. It seems. He makes good art. And that's it. Yeah.
A bunch of random candy bars are trending.
Like Kit Kat?
Yeah, Reese's, M&M's, Milky Way.
Why is that? A Halloween problem.
Well, yeah. There's a candy war, and one classic must be put on the chopping block.
Oh no.
Obviously Milky Way. It's just a peanut-deficient Snickers.
I'm offended. I like Milky Way.
Kit Kat, the most overrated candy. Kit Kats, that's the easiest question ever. Snickers, who needs peanuts getting in the way of sugar? Snickers, because they're trash. You simply cannot get Twix out of your teeth without assistance. It must go. Twix, it's the it's the untalented understudy you pray
Twix is
never
great.
Has to go on for Kit Kat.
Twix is great, but their commercials suck. What is a right Twix?
Fun-sized M&Ms without the nuts has to go forever. Don't know about the rest of them, but I have a personal vendetta against them. Overrated ass Reese's Cups. Okay, you can't talk shit on Reese's.
Ooh.
Reese's gags. You fucker. Hell no, Payday is my go-to.
Who the hell eats Payday?
I don't know. On their Payday. Anyways,
Ooh.
looks like Reese's.
Is Reese's getting the chopping one? Because, no offense, I don't
You must be eating Reese's leftover from last Halloween's trick-or-treat. Fresh Reese's are superior to the rest. Y'all better not say Reese's or I will come to your front door and scream. Anyways, bye Milky Way.
You know, I'm offended because Kit Kats, I don't eat that much, but you know, I like them. I like Twix. I eat it a lot. I eat at the movies. I like Milky Way. Same thing.
Reese's are absolute trash. No.
If you say you don't like Twix, then I don't think you're a human. You might just be the bridge worm that we're looking for.
All non-Reese's are discarded and replaced with additional Reese's. Reese's, down with the peanut butter. Fuck off. I ain't scared to say it. Reese's Cups trashed too. Oof. My son is at his dad's house. I just ate my 5th Reese's Cup in the open and threw the wrapper on the floor. Like, what? Might fuck around and eat another one. Life is real wild as a parent. This has nothing to do. Okay.
He was just like, hey, I ate someone's candy.
I mean, shit.
And then TikTok out. Oh, dude, where are the K-pop stands, am I right? Where are they going to be like, I don't know what Reese's is, but here's my K-pop idol.
Okay, now we're just going down the rabbit hole. There's literally nothing else. But yeah, a lot of people are definitely a lot of people are going in on this. Which is pretty cool. I mean, it's getting to that point where we're getting into the Halloween season. Easily one of my favorite holidays next to Thanksgiving.
I like scaring people. I like scary things, as I said before. Mm-hmm. You know, it's good. I like chasing people with a fake chainsaw.
Too much.
You. Is that
okay? We're not. Okay.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, so
perfect.
All right. Well, I think we'll wrap this thing up. We've been going for a little over an hour now. So yeah, that was this has been the second episode of the No Outlet Podcast. It's been me, Taylor,
and me, Dean.
It's pretty cool. Cool getting to talk with you, man.
You too.
So, all right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyways, I will see you guys later.